Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the 7 building blocks of a Qigong practice. You see, there's many different styles of Qigong, but they all are comprised of these 7 principles of practice. There's over 3,500 different styles of Qigong. That is a lot of styles. And when you look at any one particular style, you're going to see a combination of these principles of practice. So what I wanted to do today is make sure you understood the foundational practices, the principles behind the forms, or the building blocks of Qigong. Come on over to the whiteboard. This is going to be like a little mini workshop into a Qigong practice. I'm going to show you Qigong practices. We're going to talk about it first, and then we'll give examples of these 7 principles. Number 1 is breathing. Almost all Qigong practices have breathing practices within it. Breathing or breath work. Sometimes Qigong translates as breath work. So we can say Qi means life force energy and Gong means to work with. Life force energy is breath. So we can say Qigong can be loosely translated as breath work. It is an ancient form of breath work. So let's do an example of breath work practice. We might start a Qigong practice with something like deep abdominal breathing, where you bring your hands over your belly. Go ahead and try this. And you're going to breathe into your center, into your lower dantian. When you inhale, let the abdomen expand like a balloon. So if you put your hands here, the breath will fill up the belly and push your hands out. That means your diaphragm is moving downward. All your internal organs are getting a nice little massage. Inhale, hands expand, belly expands, and then exhale, belly goes back towards the spine. Try breathing in and out through the nose. When we breathe, we cultivate energy. So slow, deep breathing cultivates energy into your center. And there's many different kinds of breathwork practices, and each breathwork practice will give you a little different quality of energy. So Qigong is the practice of breathing, combining it with movement. Fantastic. That was a deep abdominal practice. Second principle, let's call this activating Qi. Qigong, we're using Qi. The principles of practice are to activate or awaken the energy in the body. In other forms of movement practices, the principles might be different. When you go to the gym, you're not activating Qi, you're trying to build stronger muscles. And so in Qigong, we are going to focus on activating our internal energy. So we call these activations. And they're unique to Qigong. So an activation, for example, Qi massage, for example, is a great activation. It's a way in which we're going to wake up the body's energy. Often the body's energy might be a little dormant, and the principle of activation is to move or wake up the body's energy. And often we're doing acupressure points and knocking on the body as a way to activate this energy. So for example, you can knock on the center of your chest, go up and down the sternum, and that's going to activate the Qi here and help to break up stagnation. So if we have a lot of emotional stress, the Qi might get stagnant here. We might feel tightness or shallow breathing, which will then create tension in the neck and shoulders. And if you tap right here, we'll activate and free up the Qi so that it circulates and flows. Let's activate the energy here. And let's activate the energy as it goes down the meridians of the arm. So slap and activate, wake up the energy as it comes down the inside of the arm and goes up the outside of the arm to the neck and shoulder. Good, come back to the chest and do the other side. Slap down the inside, following the flow of the meridian, slap up the outside to the neck and shoulder. Come back to the chest. Take a nice deep breath and relax. And notice that the Qi has been activated. You might feel a little tingling in your hands or your arms. The chest and the energy might feel freed up so we can breathe a little deeper. Good. Activations often feel good, especially when you finish. The third principle of Qigong practice, let's call it warm up. Warm up. These are our conditioning exercises. They're great for getting stronger. They improve circulation in your body, and they warm up, or what we call invigorate the Qi, warming up the body before we go into, say, the next principles of practice. Let's do a warm up together. Warm-ups can be simple, very gentle joint mobilizing exercises, or a warm-up can be a little more sophisticated. Let's do a little more sophisticated warm-up. Let's step out a little wider than our shoulders, a nice wide stance here. And we're gonna do a movement called move the body like a river. It's a great warm-up, and we're gonna just shift the weight back and forth like this and just relax the spine. But see, you're warming up and building strength in the legs. If you do this for a few minutes, you're gonna feel warmer. The blood and the circulation will improve. Move the body like a river is designed to clear tension out of the lateral sides of the spine. So we're warming up the body and improving circulation so the back isn't as tight. So on this exercise, you shift your weight first from the hips and the waist, and then let the head follow and move along after. Good, and just do this for a minute or so. Feel the strength, the warming up of the body, the loosening up of tension or tight spots through the spine. Take a nice deep breath. And slowly come back up, feeling a little warmer. Good. When we do these practices, you see, you can have a style of Qigong that is just warming up. Not all styles of Qigong follow these 7 principles. Some of them just take 1 or 2 principles and really go deep or focus in on those principles. I like these principles because it's a little bit like creating a recipe for your own internal energy. All right. Number 4, stretching. We can stretch the body. To stretch. When we stretch the body, we loosen up muscle tension. So if the neck and shoulders are tight, we might stretch that out, improve circulation, release muscular tension. In a Chinese medicine terminology, this would be called purging, to purge out old energy. Stretching is one way to purge out, let's say, emotional stress held as a muscular contraction. So we stretch it out, the body relaxes, the energy frees up. So let's do a nice little stretch, Qigong stretch exercise. Why don't we spread the feathers? Let's push our hands out to the side like this. Shoulders down and away. And then just stretch the neck and shoulders. Do you see when you lean your head towards one side, you feel a stretch through the muscle? And now take a deep breath, press the palms away, slowly roll the head back, and then slowly roll the head forward. And we can stretch different muscles. And in a Qigong practice, we might go through a bunch of different muscles to stretch them out, to release tension, to improve circulation and get the body out of pain. Good, let's try the other side. Chin towards the chest, down and across, ear to the shoulder, press the palms away, and slowly roll the head back and forth across the shoulder. Take a deep breath. Now we start to integrate different principles together so we can breathe, which is our first principle, and stretch at the same time, which will help to create a more dynamic practice. Very good, relax. And we can feel, we've freed up some tension here, energy circulates, and we're ready for the next principle, which is flow. Principle number 5 is flow. Once you've warmed up, got the breathing going, activated some energy, stretched out, and cleared muscular tension, your body is primed to do these flowing movements. Flows really are done with a few principles. To get into flow, we slow down the body and we relax the body, and then flow happens. So let's do a flowing movement to understand the principle of flow. In both Qigong and Tai Chi, you see people practicing this in slow, graceful movements. So for example, let's do open the flow. You're gonna float the arms up. You're moving your body slowly with relaxation. And it's a really unique way of moving our bodies. You don't see people going to the gym or going on a bike ride or most other sports. People aren't going slow with intentional movement. And the reason we go slow is so that we can enter the flow. When you're going slow and moving with relaxation, your body is much more receptive to pulling in the energy that's all around you. So go ahead and just inhale, float your arms up, and exhale, float the arms down. Nice and slow, moving with relaxation. And we might call flowing movements mindfulness in motion. Inhale, relax a little bit more, and exhale. Soft and relaxed. Just like Lao Tzu said in the Tao Te Ching, the soft overcomes the hard. So soften your body, move like water, relax, and let yourself just soak up this energy. Good. Do it one more time. A nice, slow, deep breath. And in the Qigong principle of flow, you might have many different kinds of flow. You might do a practice like Tai Chi, where your flowing movement is done walking, and one movement leads right to another. You might have more complex flows, but the same principle applies: relaxation and slowness. All right, number six in a principle of practice, you're going to see posture or alignment practices. Posture and alignment really describes our relationship to the earth. How aligned are we to the earth's energy? Because if we're out of alignment, our posture is off. You have to use muscle contraction to fight the force of gravity, which is a lot like swimming upstream in a river. And after a little while of swimming upstream, you're going to be depleted or tired or fatigued. So posture, in Qigong practice, you might see people doing these postures of power. And we have courses on each of these principles where we might use the principle to create a healing effect in our own system. So let's look at a posture. For example, a very well-known posture in Qigong is called embracing the tree. And you bend your knees slightly. You relax your tailbone. Your arms float up. Your elbows below your shoulder. And the top of the head feel like it's lifted up towards the universe. So just like a tree, we're connected to the earth below us. We're connected to the sky above, and we're absorbing and soaking up the light or the energy that's all around us. So just take a few deep breaths into this posture. You can close your eyes. Do some of that deep breathing that we started our practice with. Deep belly breathing. And after, 30 seconds or a minute of holding a posture, the energy starts to become more activated, and the energy starts to accumulate in the body and move and circulate through meridians. Take a nice deep breath and just float your hands down. Good. And if you bring your hands to your sides, even after doing just one of each of these principles, after doing a minute or so of a standing postural practice, you might feel more energy in your hands. Fantastic. Let's go to the last one. Principle number 7 would be meditation. Meditation. Now, whether we're meditating through movement or posture or seated meditation or even lying down meditation, it is a way to cultivate Qi. All of these principles are a way to cultivate Qi. And by doing a combination of these principles, you cultivate different kinds of energy that go to different areas of your body. And so when you're doing a Qigong practice, you might do a little breath work and activation and then go right into flows. And that's the recipe for today's practice. You might do an activation, a stretch, and hold a posture. And that might be your practice for the day. You could do all 7 of these and create a Qigong practice there. Now, meditation is a way in which we're utilizing the energy of the mind. We're focusing the energy of the mind. We might sit down and do a meditation. We might do a meditation in our standing posture. We might lie down and do a meditation, but we're really focusing on how are we using these faculties of the mind, the energy of the mind, whether it's attentiveness, intention, awareness, visualization, or gratitude, things that we could focus the mind on so that we cultivate a particular kind of energy. So for this one, let's just stand and put our hands like this, palms face up. Let's touch the thumbs. This position is a great standing meditation. You could do the same position while seated. And then I just want you to close your eyes and put your mind into your belly and focus and concentrate at a center point within the lower abdomen. Just breathe into it. Meditation helps us to stay focused. It helps to break the habituated way in which the mind worries or thinks about the same thing over and over again. Let the mind be grounded as well as the body. Inhale to your belly. Exhale to the belly. Feel this area where the hands are, behind the navel, in the very center of the body. Just put your attention there. Concentrate, focus. And then slowly relax. And there's many different kinds of meditation, whether we're focusing on circulating energy in the body, moving Qi to different internal organs, or visualizing outcomes that we want to happen in our future. Meditation is vast. These are some of the principles of Qigong practice, and whether you study with me or other teachers, you're going to find the practice has some relation to these principles. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something from it, and look out for more videos just like this, and I'll see you there. Thanks so much, guys.